Hi, how are you guys? Today I'm going to share very potent meditation instructions. And first of all, why you want to meditate? Why? There is some reason, right? Overwhelm, maybe. Health benefits, maybe enlightenment. Something is your reason, right? Now, we can't really find motivation to distract ourselves from the world if we don't have a reason. So maybe we can say we are intuitively inclined to that or whatever. Now, why I'm asking you to come up with your own reason, because meditation is in general directed toward a state of inner peace or enlightenment, or touching that very subtle dimension of pure being. And then we can also say that we set the bar to actually be able to live our life from that state. Now, that state is a state of emptiness, complete utter emptiness, and like experiencing nothing. So why is this enlightenment so highly regarded? Because mind obviously likes things, it's objective, it wants to go into things and relationships between things and play with that. And then we are teaching ourselves to not be immersed into this experience, but to actually rest in the subtle emptiness of being. And this has every benefit. Like, it makes life so much easier on every level. It heals you, it makes everything simpler, it smooths out life problems, disappear, unnatural strivings of the mind that keeps us in some loops of unattainment and suffering, feeling unattained because we're always like reaching out for something else, more. So all of a sudden you find this inner tranquility, and life sorts itself out. So on many levels these have benefits. But why do you want to sit or go to Vipassana retreat and sit there for hours and hours and hours, or even do this 10 minutes a day, right? So some reason needs to even show up in the ego, or some goal, some objective needs to show up in the ego for the understanding, the ego to even be inclined to direct itself, right? Because our personality directs us towards things. So even if we want to direct ourselves toward nothing and experience that nothing, why do we want that? And it's a paradox that the ego has to decide to locate itself, to direct itself towards something, and then that very something is nothing that is going to dissolve the existence of the one that is desiring. Now all of these seem like a little bit of paradoxical mumbo jumbo, but the thing is that if you enter the deepest state of meditation that I'm going to explain right now how to do it very effortlessly, you're going to disappear. You're going to disappear, and then the sensations, the mind, the strivings and everything Eventually everything's going to disappear. The world's going to disappear. Your body's going to disappear. If you do this practice that I'm going to share with you, because it's very, very freaking powerful. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you how it works and what's going to happen. Even if you disappear as an experience of a person, that is the costume, the body and the emotions and the mind always going into some type of story, some type of scenario. I just call it video game experience. It's not really a video game, but it kind of works like that. So you want to rest in yourself beyond space and time and beyond the immersion in this experience. And here is something that is going to happen. The more you are aware of yourself within and without the things that appear, the phenomenal world, the more these two worlds will merge. You will be at the same time emptiness and fullness, and then different phenomenal things appearing in the cohesion of emptiness and fullness. And this would be a state of really effortlessness, where you find yourself partaking in life, in everyday things, and you can decide to fill yourself with joy. Just like that, for no reason. And you can decide that your problems are already solved, just like that. Because now you are no thing. And that becomes so integrated that it's almost like you cannot slide into a complication. And complication, or mental complication, from a place of complication we get into disbalance, disharmony, and ultimately our strivings, our worldly strivings, end up in a place of experience of suffering. So let's say that we want to reach enlightenment or avoid suffering, or just get into joy or tranquil space. So let's say that this is our desire because we're going to meditate. So then, or any other desire that you create to reach this goal. So let's then go into the practice, and let's, through the practice, actually attain that goal, whatever that goal is for you. So I'm going to give a general exercise for non-dual awareness. First of all, I want you to imagine that you have a dial. So it's like a knob, and it goes from 1 to 10. Now, at 1, you're not meditating, you're right here. And you're experiencing this life head on. Now, at 10, you will be immersed in a deepest state of meditation. Now I'm going to show you how to go directly into the deepest state of meditation. You can't use the dial yet. I'm just installing this dial right now. But once you know how to go into deeper state of meditation, then you will be able to get there again and again, just switching up the dial. It takes a few times repeating this before it's already an installed belief in your subconscious, and it works like very effortlessly. So maybe don't expect it to work if you practice it now and then you try it the second time, but if you try it 5 times, it will work. So before you use the dial, let's enter into the void together right now. Just do what I say. Perhaps close your eyes. If you're a beginner with this, it's gonna be easier if you do it with your eyes closed. I'm gonna ask you to feel the space of your body. Inside of your body you can feel your feet, you can feel your stomach, you can feel your chest, you can feel your head, your shoulders. And I will ask you to feel in front of you and behind you, and to feel above you and below you. Now as you feel above you and below you, feel in the space where is in between above and below. So that may come that it's somewhere in your body is like a feeling, there's like a center of above and below. Now feel that center, wherever that may be for you right now. And just stay present with this feeling of center. We'll just call it the center of your being right now. Now you're going to imagine that this center has a very small dot. Right in the center of your being there is one central point. And you will map this dot out in your mind. You can make it like a dot that has a color. It's either black or white or purple or whatever. So you put a dot with a pencil. It's a little tiny dot in some color, whatever color comes to your mind. And now you're going to remember the dial also, but you're not going to go to the dial. Just be aware of the dial like you're holding it in your hand. But stay with the dot, with this little point. Now you're going to imagine that you can turn the dial from 1 to 10. And before you start to do that, feel the dot and imagine the dot has a gravity. Now feel this gravity pulling you in. It's kind of like drawing you towards the dot. And just relax and feel like you're sinking towards that dot. The awareness is sinking towards that dot. Just gently. So now when you start turning the dial from 1 to 10 slowly, this gravity of that dot is going to become stronger. And at each number on the dial, the dot is going to pull you in. You're going to feel like you're getting more and more drawn into the dot. And then if you turn the dial slowly all the way up, you're going to sink into this little point and you're going to go through it. So slowly, slowly turn up the gravity and just relax into this feeling that this little point is drawing you in. And you're going from 1 to 10, counting, and feeling like you are sinking in. And then finally, when you come to 10, you came into the dots and you emerge on the other side of that little point. So now in your imagination, you enter the dot and you're finding yourself on the other side. Now, you're going to perceive once you are in this dot and you came through it, what is there? What is there? Where are you? And to anchor permanently into this space that we discovered beyond the dot, we're going to do a couple of things while we are here. Now, first of all, you're going to ask a couple of questions inside of this space. The first question is going to be, am I now outside of space and time? The second question is going to be, as I am here, what am I? And then you're going to ask, can I just relax here as long as I want? Now, once you ask these questions and some answers came to you that resonated from this space, I will assume that the answers were that you are outside space and time. that you are something like nothingness or pure consciousness or something like this, and then that you can stay here and chill. Now we're going to also take the dial with our hand, and we're gonna turn down the dial from 10 to 5, imagining that we are staying in this space beyond the dot, but also coming into awareness of our body, mind, ego, if you will, and the world around us. So we're going to go half-half. 5 on the dial, it means that we are relaxed in this place beyond space and time. And we are also present here as this guy or girl that is our human experience. And now also, when you are here and there, open your eyes and be everywhere all at once, beyond the experience and in the experience of space and time together. So what we just did, we went into the deep state. And then we also fused this deep state with an everyday state. And now you have this dial. Now, if you practice this going in and out a couple of times, it becomes easier and easier to actually go in and out just by turning the dial, but then you can also turn the dial when you are doing anything in the world, driving a car, doing your work, you're going on a field trip, or you are taking care of your children, whatever you're doing. If it becomes overwhelming, the first person experience, you can turn the dial up to 5, and you can find that you are in a space of tranquility, and you are able to have one foot in the world and one foot outside of the world, if you will, and keep yourself in this presence while doing things. And that will open up a state of flow with all the things that you're doing. It will enhance the synchronicities, and it will just feel like enlightenment, or it will not feel like enlightenment, but this is what is enlightenment practically, when it's stable throughout our life experience, this is what it is. The dial is at 5. So the more you use it, the dial is then more fixed in your subconscious mind, like it is always there. You can imagine it's a little remote control. It's always in your hand, and you can go then in and out. You can go turn this up to the max. I'm here, and then go inside, completely chill. And if you want to sit in your meditation, then you can just sit down and go into a deeper state of meditation right away, and then stay there for an extended period of time. Alright, hope you have fun with this one. See you on the flip side.